evening, my friends. It's me, and it's the grumpy one again.
I'm just
put some
pouring
positive light on your Friday night.
I'm just pouring alcohol. I'm here under duress.
Rather large.
Oh, brother, you've got a bigger glass than me.
Rather large glass of red. Anyway, welcome to Talking Town. If you haven't been here before, welcome to the Madhouse, because Friday nights are pretty much anything goes, aren't they, Matt?
Yeah. If this is your first show, it might be your last.
No links tonight. There's no links. There's no links. There's just a live chat. So if you want to get involved, please do. Any suggestions, any questions, anything really? You want to ask me on that?
Rich, you might notice I'm wearing a kind of nautical themed shirt. I'm the last survivor from HMS Pistol League. Sunk. I did see on Twitter someone had done it. You know, there's the one with all the players on, obviously setting sail. There was another one that looked like the Titanic. They released some footage this week, didn't they?
It's gone down. Anyway, welcome to Graham Tate, Lee, Phil Blundell, Ben Hobbs, John B. First up, we have got breaking news from Talking Town Towers. Tell people, Matt, all about it.
Well, have you got your Dive and Obsession by best-selling author?
I've got it on hand right here.
£15
from Amazon.
We can exclusively reveal the launch date is going to take place at Portman Road in the Sir Bobby Robson Suite, Thursday, March the 30th, 7 p.m. Ticket details to follow. We're hoping to get some legends there, aren't we, Rich? That's
Stannard has been busy at work. He sent me a link to the tickets already. It's not live. It's going to be, I think, on Eventbrite.
Eventbrite.
It'll be on there. And it's all going to be linked. I think there's a link to that. There'll be a link to the book. I think there's a link to Colin's bit in the East Anglian. He was in the Bury Free Press this week as well. Colin has been absolutely anywhere. So if you haven't got the book, please do go to Amazon. Please do purchase it, because it's for two good charities, isn't it, Matt? It's for the British Heart Foundation and for cancer research. So
and what it does, Rich, is gives you a picture of this club when it was successful.
Well, come on.
Drink it in.
We're trying to be positive tonight, Matt. We're trying to be positive, but we're really looking forward to it. I think the plan is that me, you, and Martin will be hosting this evening, so it could be an absolute car crash, or it could be absolutely brilliant.
It'll be brilliant when regular viewers will know what we bring to the table. There's only drinks we had beforehand, of course.
I think Colin has probably invited the whole 81 team already.
And Bury St Edmunds.
It's going to be a really good evening. If you can get there, please do, because I know Colin will really, really appreciate anybody who turns up. And it's Colin's a really good friend to me and Matt, and obviously Martin, and look, loads of people. And it's through this platform that it's pulled everyone together. Obviously through COVID, Matt, when we started, and now it's just sort of grown. Colin's got a book out. How many pages? How many chapters have you read so far? I'm
still in the. So Bobby Robson has just rocked up, just taken over from Bill McGarry. So I mean, I'm still in the late 60s, 69. I'm at.
Going into early 70s. I think I've done 10 chapters already, but it's a really good book. And Mark Dowling's arrived today because he couldn't. He had problems ordering it, so I'm going to nip to the post office in the morning and I'll get that shipped out. I've got 2 books for Steve Parry and Ian in the chat that Colin's going to sign, and he will be bringing them to Bolton Wanderers away.
If you got your book and you buy it on the March the 30th, you'll be able to get some legends, meet some legends, have a chat with them, and get it signed. Again, a little taste of success.
Anyway, I've got a little message to read out. So this is a message from, hang on, let me find it on my phone. I did say that I'd read it out for Jacob. When I find it.
This is your Blue Ultra boys, isn't it?
Right.
The Blue Ultra.
Blue Ultra, they're a new fan group trying to start up. And listen, and then we've had a lot about sort of atmosphere and what makes a supporter, and some people we should be making more noise and whatever this sort of week on the social. So Jacob, he messaged me on Twitter saying he'd really appreciate if I could read it out. So a fan group trying to start up Blue Ultra. I think they're going to be in Sir Alf Ramsey's stand. They want to sort of be in there. They've had chats with the club. I'll just read the message. Me and other ITFC fans have come to make a supporters group in a bid to create more atmosphere around the ground. Our overall aim is to try and get Portman Road as loud and as noisy as possible to create a better match day experience. We have been in discussions with the club and hope to arrange a meeting soon in hope that we can go ahead as an official group and get an allocated section for us to be housed in, which is they're hoping Sir Alf Ramsey lower. We're still growing as a group. Every Ipswich fan is welcome. It doesn't matter what you look like, sexual orientation or skin colour. We want to be welcoming group and show everyone what Ipswich Town is about. So if you want to follow him on Twitter at Jacob Buckles 15, at Blue Ultra 78 is their Twitter handle. So shout out to Jacob. I said I'd read it out for him, and yeah, look, fan groups. I know Matt's a bit of an ultra himself. You know, you like the old.
I'm interested in reading about it. I'm not sure what to hang around with them.
Frankfurt, they're your team, and they on track Frankfurt.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's a huge. Look, it's a culture that's quite steeped in fascism, certainly in Italy. But the idea here, of course, is that we're trying to keep the atmosphere going in Portman Road. I think it worked well in that Burnley game, probably because we were in the block next to them.
Yeah.
But of course, it all starts on the pitch, doesn't it, Rich? To be honest with you, if you've got good performances on the pitch, it's going to get the crowd going, isn't it? And I feel like Ipswich Town fans have done enough this season to get that shower going, but that's just my take on it.
I don't think you're wrong. Let's while we start, let's get your thoughts on Bristol Rovers, Matt.
Yeah. It was a really good start. Well, first of all, I'm glad I didn't go. I kind of resented paying a tenner to watch it, quite frankly. I mean, you did about 200 quid with hotels and all sorts of things. And Colin was down at Membry Services by about 9:30, wasn't he, on the bid?
So Colin left at 5:30. Obviously, leaving at 5:30. What are you going to hit at rush hour? You're going to hit the M25. Why leave so early? I said to him, "Why are you leaving at 5:30?" He was there by 11. He was there by 11. Look at the amount of travelling. It only took me 3 hours to get there. Leave a bit later. Leave a little bit later. Miss the traffic.
If I was going to go that early, I'd probably go to Bath and check that out because it's close, and then go up from there. But I mean, look here, the day ahead. It was Andy's birthday. Happy birthday, Andy. 36, I believe. Hope you had a great day, other than the game. But yeah, back to the game. We started well. I was sitting there going, this is going to be men against boys. And I don't know, it just kind of petered out, didn't it? Again, it's the same old story, isn't it? Like, they'll put the old, what everyone's calling the low block. I don't even know what that means. I think it's just putting everyone behind the ball, isn't it? Parking the bus, Mourinho style. And we just couldn't break them down. Again, we just couldn't break them down. It's our kryptonite, isn't it, this season? We were lucky to probably come away with a draw in the end because the shambles that was Walton dropping that ball, was it in front of Aidan Collins and he hits the bar twice or post, whatever it was?
And then he done a good save, didn't he? To be fair to him, he made an absolute howler, and then a little bit of luck, I suppose, Matt. It sort of hits him, and he didn't know a lot about it from about 4 yards. I
said to you on the phone, didn't I, after the game? I've had enough of him. Two-touch Walton, I'm calling him. He's going to cost us a game. He almost did it against Plymouth, didn't he? When he got caught in possession. He always needs two touches, regardless. Whether or not you've got no one around you or someone breathing down your neck, he needs two touches. And you saw with Hladky against Burnley, he doesn't need to do that. He's much more comfortable with the ball at his feet. But yeah, he did help us out there a little bit. It was a good save in the end. But like you say, Rich, what is the Achilles heel for Ipswich? Themselves. It's all of their own making, isn't it?
Interesting today. I don't know if everyone's seen the comments by a certain. He's on Matt's list as next town manager. I think he was number 2.
He was.
Joey Barton.
Joey Barton.
To be fair to Kieran, he's probably worried about 4 wins in 15 with a 15 million budget in League One. And Sheffield Wednesday and Plymouth pulling away.
Yeah.
He's a man under pressure. I could smell that on them, and I knew that before with the results profile. It was part of the reason we went with the strategy because they were nervy and on a run of drawing a lot of games and finding it hard to break teams down. So they've changed the way they play.
Yeah.
Right, to combat us.
Respect. The ultimate respect. Yeah.
So he apologised to Kieran afterwards for not trying to play football. Right. So this is Joey Barton at Bristol Rovers. He's changing the way they play. Yeah. My question to you, Matt, is why do we never, ever change the way that we play. We just think, we think we're going to turn up. We've got good players, and regardless, we will win the game.
Yeah. Absolutely. I thought it was a bit pathetic of McKenna when he said, "Oh, look, I've spoken to Joe Barton, and he's apologised to me straight away," like he'd sworn at him or something. You're quite within your rights to be able to play exactly how you want. They don't have to go toe to toe with Ipswich. You don't need to go toe to toe with Ipswich. Just soak up the pressure. They showed they could easily handle that. A team that was in all competitions was 5 defeats on the trot, been shipping goals, lost 5-1 at Morecambe the day after, the week after we'd beaten them 4-0 at Portman Road. Reserve goalkeeper in the sticks, I think, because he's had a row with Joey's had a row with the usual guy. I didn't think he was training properly. And he highlighted exactly what it was. What's their budget at Bristol Rovers? He said 3.5 mil.
3 million. The interesting bit, because Kieran said it was like their cup final, which I thought was a little bit disrespectful, Matt.
Pathetic. It's not their cup final.
He said it was a cup final for our fans, and they all turned out. But we have been at capacity since the back end of last season. I just felt that was a little bit of a strange comment. Based on my CV and his CV, this is the interesting bit, it made me chuckle. There is no doubt who is the A side if there was any cup final, because he was a civilian until he started coaching.
It sounds like he's come out of the military.
Unbelievable. So I do feel of late, I think McKenna, with some of his comments, he's a man under pressure, Matt.
Well, bloody hell, he should be. It's 4 wins in 15.
But
shocking.
By saying it's their cup final, he's moaning about today. I see about pitches. You had a little bit of a comment about pitches. He's had referees. Now, when everything's going swimmingly, brilliant. We're all loving it. But you're finding out now, when the pressure's on, cracks are starting to appear.
What did Stuart Watson write in East England this week? It said the last 15 games of McKenna is worse than Paul Lambert, Paul Cook. Look, I watched the show on with you and Colin on in the week, and I thought it was very good. I enjoyed it.
What did you call it?
A comfy pair of slippers.
Nearly 2,000 views.
I enjoyed it. I couldn't do a show like that because I'm too angry, but I did enjoy it. Listen, everyone was skirting around the issue. I'm not saying, look, I think McKenna should go now. Sunday, I said I'd keep him to the end of the season. It's quite obvious to me this team ain't going to be victorious in the playoffs. Even Sam Parkin, former Town player, said Derby would beat us in the playoffs if we had to face them in the final.
He says we're making the final, though. We're not at Wembley. We'll finally break that curse of playing Wembley.
I mean, it'd be so Ipswich, wouldn't it? Go to the final and we lose. It annoyed me a little bit. A, Sam Parkin's a former Ipswich player, and B, he was rubbish for us. Now he's writing us off in the playoff. But I don't disagree with him. We can still get out of this division this season, I think. Top 2's gone. Forget that. Gone. We're the only club in history that spent 5 million in the third tier and gone down the table. So I think Kieran's had his go now. I know that upset a lot of people. It upsets me a little bit. I don't mind him. He's a bit boring. He's probably a bit over-analytical. He hasn't got the charisma of managers we've had previously. But I think he's had his time now. And when you consider over the 4 leagues in football, Premier League and the 3 EFL, the average time for a manager is 11 months, gone beyond that. I just feel like what's more important? Supporting Kieran McKenna or Ipswich getting into the Championship?
Well, we know. It's the lateral. Today, he says about resilience. I'm absolutely fine, to be honest. I've got a really good team of staff around me. McKenna said, when asked how he feels at present, we've had a period of drawing games, but you don't get to the position I am at the age I'm at without having a load of resilience that I've needed throughout my life to cope with different situations, Matt.
Well, he's not coping with this situation particularly well, and I'm not surprised because he's an absolute rookie. And this again goes back to Ashton deciding to bring in a rookie manager. And he did this, right? Bristol City, when he got Dean Holden in. And a lot of Bristol City fans said, oh, he's only got this guy in, so Ashton can kind of shape him or control him a little bit. Was that the thinking behind getting a 36, 37-year-old in at Portman Road? So Ashton could have a little... Because he's gone quiet, hasn't he? Where's that guy gone? He's not on Coffee Club no more. Now we've gone from the top Boxing Day. I ain't seen that guy going around kissing babies like the Pope. That's all gone. If you see him in the fan zone tomorrow, let us know. That's all gone now. It's gone underground. We all got to deal with this ourselves. So I feel like Kieran's had his go now. I'm sorry, but I want this club in the Championship next season. I think we would be. I think the future of Ipswich is more important than the future of Kieran McKenna's coaching career. You fans out there, take my hat off to you, Rich, yourself, Colin, everybody who went down to Bristol on Tuesday night. You've put in the hard yards. You go home and away. This is a club that, in an energy crisis where everyone can't find a pound note, has brought out not just one shirt, 2 shirts, 3 bleeding shirts, and lots of people have bought them all. They've asked you to pack out PR, 29,000 in the stadium against shitty little clubs that can't even tie our laces, history-wise, and we've packed it out. All we ask for them is to give us a promotion-winning team on the back of the biggest budget in the third tier. They can't. They haven't done it.
Ian Davis says, I saw Sam Parkin score 2 goals away at Leeds. Slightly against the run of play. I think he only scored 5, Matt. So he says Ian McKenna about... he scored 2 at Millwall away, and he scored an absolute screamer at Queen's Park Rangers away. That was the Mark Fish game when he played 45 minutes.
That was a good goal, actually.
So he says here, it's part of the manager's remit to ignore outside influence and comment, including that from other bosses. That's the nature of the job, the nature of football, and the nature of society. That's the nature of being at a big club relative to our position, and I am well used to it and well versed in it. Everyone is entitled to an opinion. When a football team doesn't win, there will always be opinions out there about what a team could do better to win games. So my question to you, Matt, is what can we do better to win games?
I've got absolutely no idea. Look, I've had enough of this. I said to you today, didn't I? I've had enough of these 600 passes. The definition of madness is doing the same thing over and over again.
559 the other night. 559.
Yeah.
Apparently we had 21 attempts on goal. Now, did I miss something here?
Yeah.
Did we really have 21 attempts on goal the other night?
It don't feel like it, does it? But I mean, according to the official stats, we did. But it's this constant passing around them. No one just takes responsibility, do they? And it's the sideways passing. That is not we've been saying this for a couple of weeks now. This is not the style to play in League One, is it? It's the style to play in the Championship, maybe. Which makes me think McKenna's dropped down too low. If you're coming out of Man United, maybe you should have gone to Bleeding Stoke or somebody. I don't know.
Well, you say about Michael Carrick, don't you? Obviously, at Borough.
What he's doing. They're on the arse of Sheffield United right now. Going great guns. They're going great. Maybe he should have done that. Maybe he's dropped down a level too much. The fact is, we need someone to play League One football for us. That's what we need.
I think it has to be. Obviously, we're in February, and we still don't know our best team, which is a little bit worrying to me, Matt. When you think, I think we've only been unchanged a couple of times this season. I was reading some stats from Stuart Watson. Ladapo, the most games he's played on the trot is 3. You know, and it's
crazy for your top scorer. He's second top scorer. Chaplin's top scorer, isn't it?
Yes, second top scorer behind, obviously, Connor Chaplin.
Yeah.
But it's like you have to get them partnerships going, and we haven't really. Centre backs, have we had a partnership all season? Not really. Centre midfielder, I'd say the only sort of position that we had.
Morsey and Evans, really, wasn't it?
Obviously, Evans today's out. Well, 8 to 10 weeks, I think, minimum, that is. Might see him before the end of the season. So
that's even gone, then.
Yeah.
You could argue that you had Burns and Donacian, I suppose, before Clark rocked up.
Yeah.
On that kind of right side. So there's mini partnerships there. But as you keep saying, McKenna's bingo balls. Why does he keep changing it round? I don't know. Is it just because of his youth? He wants to keep everybody happy? I don't get it.
I think it might be a combination of things, Matt. They on about. He keeps saying about. I hear little bits about like minutes for people. You've got to see how many minutes I think they're too fixated on certain things. Your substitutions of your main striker, it always happens. What was it the other night? Ladapo comes off. Was it 65 minutes?
Yeah, around that time, wasn't it?
He did make a change a little bit early, didn't he? Brought Broadhead on.
But Ladapo doesn't get the service, does he? Everyone moans about him. Although Colin thought he played quite well, didn't he? But I mean, look at some of the crosses into the box for him. They're not even beating the first man. What's he supposed to do? He's floating around the penalty spot into the 6-yard box.
80 Croucher, 187 live watching at the minute. Only 10 likes. What do they need to do, Matt?
What the hell? Press the button. What's wrong with you?
Hit the like button. Hit the like button.
I wish Ashton would press the button on McKenna.
Well, I don't think that's going to come just yet.
But do you think that do you honestly think, Rich, that McKenna will? Well, do you think we'll finish in the playoffs? Because now we've got 7th place, not too far off us. Would you put your mortgage on us winning the playoffs and getting promoted at Wembley? Would you put your house on it?
Look, I think it's all about gaining momentum from the 15 games coming, because they soon run out. We've heard people 20 games. Look, we've still got 20 games to go. Yeah, we can still get in the top 2. Before you know it, there's 15. Before we know it, Matt, there'll be 10. We'll be at Easter time. So top 2, I think anyone really thinking that we can still get in the top 2 now, I think you've got to be mad. You have to be, because
you've got to hope that. Well, I mean, bloody hell, we've now got Bolton between us and the top 2 now.
Yeah, I know Bolton have got Wickham. They got Wickham away tomorrow, which is a tough game, and they could probably do us a bit of a favour there, because Wickham are the team, I think, in 7th. If they won that game in hand, Matt, they'd go 4, I think, behind us.
Yeah.
So I think with the next 4 games, they're very kind, aren't they? But we keep saying this.
We thought Bristol Rovers was kind. We thought Bristol Rovers was kind, right?
No, 3 out of the next 4. 3 out of the next 4 at home. You got obviously Forest Green tomorrow. Then you've got MK next Saturday, and then you've obviously got Burton and Accrington and Stanley on the Tuesday night. So
devil's advocate for you then. Suppose we don't beat Forest Green, right? Big Dunk gets them rolled up. They come away with a draw.
5 wins in
McKenna then under pressure.
5 in 32. It's all they've won.
Well, you know who's coming. Along come Ipswich.
Yeah. Not one for 11. I don't think they won for 11 games. This is their first ever visit to Portman Road tomorrow.
I mean, look, fair play to them. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it just showcases how far we've dropped down.
It's a village. I went there at the start of the season. It's a village.
Nailsworth. Yeah. Nailsworth.
And they've done really well to get where they are, and it reflects where we are as a football club at the minute. We're still scrapping around 4th season.
If I gave you the choice, right, to say Chris Wilder will come in and take over the next 15 games for Portman Road, Ipswich, to try and get Ipswich through the playoffs into Championship, would you take it?
No, I wouldn't. I know, because you've appointed a young manager for a reason.
Which was an error.
Why did they appoint Kieran in the first place?
Who knows? Sebastian could control him.
I've seen something there, and he was the outstanding candidate. So I don't think you're just going to pull the plug now. I think it's way too soon to pull the trigger. But you look at Sunderland last year, Lee Johnson.
So they sacked him, Rich, on January the 30th.
Everyone thought they were mad at the time. They did think they were mad, but look what happened.
Look what happened. So they get promoted under Alex Neil. He buggers off to Stoke. They've got Tony Mowbray in there. Where are they now, a year later? 5th in the Championship. Do we not want that or something?
I don't think
we must keep the manager. We must keep. Why are they so risk averse? I don't get it. This club's been treading water for bleeding years, 20 years, like Josh Russell said in the Discord the other day. I've not seen us do anything. Take a bleeding risk and try and get this club into the Championship this season. I don't get it. This is the biggest chance we've had. Do we know we'll have the same amount of money next season? We don't know.
But people are reacting like we're 4th bottom. We have only lost 4 games all season.
We've drawn 12. We've drawn 12.
Yeah, I know that. That shows you how small the margins are. They are. In football, margins are pretty small, Matt.
They are. Yeah, I do agree with that. They shouldn't be in League One though. When you've got the squad that we've got, in my opinion, underperforming squad, let you all down. You haven't let them down. As I said earlier, been brilliant, travelling home and away. Fantastic. People queuing to get into the shop to buy the free shirts. And they've let us down. They are letting you down. And, I'm sure, look, I've put it on the list, isn't it?
Ian Davis says we can't change our manager so soon after the window. We've literally just spent, what, 3.5 million?
People do. Ipswich Town don't. Risk averse. People do. Sunderland did it. Now they're 5th in the Championship. I would get someone in who can get. I don't think it's difficult to get out of this division with the squad we've got. I just don't think we're playing the right tactics. McKenna ain't going to change those tactics. He's almost arrogantly set on the fact that he will not change. You've seen Joey Barton change on Tuesday to meet what we did. They came over a point. What did he say? We've stopped the flood or whatever he called it, didn't it? We stopped the bleeding here at the memorial ground.
Brandon Carter says McKenna has taken us from 11th to top 3 with 1 pre-season and 80% of the squad he inherited. Each player outside of Burns is a better player than they were under Cook.
Liam Richardson took Wigan from being 4th bottom or whatever it was to champions. Big work. You're being far too kind. He's not your mate. He's just Ipswich Town manager. Newsflash, he will leave one day to go to another club.
We know that. I hope we're sitting here in May and you are eating a massive slice of humble pie.
I mean, look, I don't really like I hope so. Absolutely. I want everyone pointing at me going, yeah, I like it. I would love that. But I mean, look at Watford. I don't really agree with their model, but they got Rob Edwards. So talking to Forest Green, right? They get Rob Edwards in from Forest Green. He takes over at Watford. Doesn't hit the mark that they want. Not good enough for them.
10 games he done.
Gone.
They're not doing that much better under Slaven Bilic, really. I like Lee's comment. I like Lee's comment here in the chat. Cruncher for consultant role in the dressing room. The people's champion.
When Forest were in the 3rd division, Gary Megson invited some fans in once at half time when they were away from home. They like giving away shit from the
his own goal at Portman Road, Gary Megson against Norwich. Oh, what a goal. I was in the North Stand and we thought Eddie Howe had scored. What a header. Today, so whose birthday is it today?
Whose birthday? Yes, Sergei.
And our sponsor, Ed Sheeran.
Oh, right. Nice.
Sergei Berthatcher, 1989. Do you remember the game against Stoke City?
I do.
I posted it on Twitter. Someone sent it to me today because I was trying to find it and someone kindly sent it to me. People moaning about the pitch at the minute. Yeah. Look at the state of that pitch.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. David Bergheim, €5. Thank you very much. And he's just bought Colin's book in the chat.
Oh, brilliant. Well done, David. Great.
So, Berthatcher.
Yeah, brilliant.
International sweeper.
International sweeper, yeah.
Where did we play him, Matt?
He went out on the left side, didn't he?
Right, he was on the right wing for that first game. He couldn't communicate, John Duncan said. And lo and behold, there he was. That was. If you watch us now, watch that goal. Chris Kiwomya jinks down the right.
Yeah.
He cuts it back and he
finds a player. Is that it is? Yeah, and he's down the church. I remember that game clearly. We went to the back of the stand at the end of the game to get Berthatcher's autograph. I remember his wife was there in that kind of very traditional Russian 80s look, and his son was there, and of course he's was it Elena? Was it the tennis player?
Yeah.
She was a little top. She was. I can picture that perfectly. He was like, it was like an alien had turned up because, like, you know, Soviet Union in the 80s, it was like detached, wasn't it? It was unbelievable. I couldn't wait.
Worked out, did it, a town for him? Never really worked out.
No, it was a shame, wasn't it? But
I remember. I think there was a little bit on that. I think it was ITV Anglia that when they sort of followed him. I think he had a larder, didn't he? Sponsored larder. I think he had.
Yeah.
2 minutes. Let me put this dog out.
No, go for it. Anyone else go to that game? Stoke game.
Peter Fox. Peter Fox in goal. Chris Kamara
playing. Chris was playing.
Stoke. Steve Bold, I think, was in there.
Steve Bold in that team.
And who was manager?
Yeah, is that the one where you said Mickey Mills was the manager?
Mick Mills was manager of Stoke City. So when Mick Mills is on Radio Suffolk saying we should do this, that, and the other, Mick, you're a great player. You weren't a very good manager, I'm afraid.
Often works out. Look at Bobby Charlton. He couldn't cut it as a manager. World Cup winner. But,
no.
Yeah, great memories. Great memories.
And tomorrow, it's a big day for, obviously, it's Colin's birthday tomorrow.
Colin's birthday tomorrow.
And it coincides with the 90th birthday of Sir Bobby Robson tomorrow. So they're doing a lot of stuff town. I think tomorrow at the game, I think Brian Hamilton's going to be in the fan zone. If you got one of these retro shirts, they want them to wear them tomorrow. So get your retro shirts on and look, Sir Bobby, he's much loved. I see Duncan Ferguson's comments, Matt, because obviously he played under him when he was at Newcastle.
What did he say?
He just said he's a great man. He said he was a great man, and look, he is. Obviously, I think Colin's actually met him. I think Colin is 66 tomorrow.
Is he?
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I met Bobby a couple of times. I met him at a book signing.
Right, Brandon wants me. Just keep chatting, Matt. Brandon wants me to ask his previous question. I'm sorry, Brandon, I didn't see it. There's loads of questions up here. Matt, here we go. Matt, do you put any blame at all on the players? I can think of half a dozen goals that have cost us wins to draws from individual errors and being weak in a tackle. McKenna can't do that himself.
No, he can't. But when did you ever see players getting sacked like managers? End of the day, the manager's culpable. Yeah, I agree with you. Soft. As you said, Rich, mentality not great. Burgess, terrible if you're running at him. All right in the air, terrible if you're running at him. But at the end of the day, he's culpable for having these players. Sorry, if you don't like it. But I mean, look, the facts, 4 in 15, useless since Charlton, laughing stock since Charlton. Like I said to you, I went on the Chef Wed pod, didn't I? It was hilarious. I couldn't believe it. We dropped 4-2.
All these other clubs in the top 6, they are absolutely falling over themselves with laughter.
Yeah, well, we would be doing, if it was Pompey or whatever, we'd be pissing ourselves, wouldn't we? It really disappoints me. And you go back to Bobby Robson, you look around that stadium and think what he accomplished and put this club on the map. And you got that stadium's bookended by Bobby Robson stand and the Alf Ramsey stand, 2 absolute legends of English football. Both went on to manage England. And there we are pissing about playing Forest Green. I mean, it just annoys the hell out of me. At least get us back to the Championship. I still think we've got a chance if we would act swiftly. And
Brandon said recruitment in defence is the only thing I hold against McKenna. Now, I think if you're looking, that's probably the weakest area of our team, Matt. It's our Achilles heel. We've got no one. Look, we've got footballers in the team. I said this about Luke Wolford in the last Sunday. Really good footballer. You've got no real commanding centre half in there.
No, not like them Chef Wed lads.
No. Head it, kick it, simple things. We want to play football, don't we? Dominic Iorfa, terrible footballer. But he's part of a team we've not lost for over 20 games. You know?
We should be like that. We can't even put 3 wins together. We should be. It's such a failure. I've lost faith in McKenna. I've lost faith in our players. It's going to take a lot to win me back, right? So tomorrow I'll be at the game just supporting Ipswich as it is. The history of Ipswich. Paul Mariner wore the shirt. Gates, Brazil, Bobby Robson, Alf Ramsey, John Lyle, blah, blah, blah. As Martin said today, John Lyle would cruise this division if he was still with us, and he would. It's such a failure. I can't even describe it. It's such a failure. I just can't understand why everyone keeps going, well, we've got to give McKenna more time.
But there's still time to rectify it. There's still. I said to Colin on Wednesday, there is still time for it to be a successful season.
Is it going to be? Would you put money on that?
Well, at the minute,
Richard Chandler 2 shirts.
The form says no at the minute. In 4 games' time, when we're sitting here on the Friday, that'd be before Bolton, right?
Yeah.
We need to have won them 4 games. And we might be having a little bit of a different conversation. I know people will say, yeah, but you should beat these teams. You should beat these teams. But we haven't been doing it, have we? There's too much. I still think there's too much talk. This is just Town over the years. Yeah. It was like when Morsey come out last week and saying, oh, yeah, we really need the fans against Sheffield Wednesday. Don't start saying you need the fans. Like you said before, Matt, the fans, season tickets, shirts, selling out away ends, travelling to Bristol, to bloody Burnley. We took nearly bloody 1,200 to Burnley on a Tuesday night, Fans have been absolutely fantastic. And I know Callie says about atmosphere and whatever. We can all discuss that. But in numbers, we are there. We're backing them. So it is about time. These players who've been given everything, literally anything that they want, they get. They're flying to these places. They flew to Burnley. They fly to games. They even stayed in a hotel in Cambridge when it's bloody 40 miles up the road, man. And then some of them are moaning. They're moaning about the boiler that night. They're moaning. Don't. Why are you moaning, lads? You are so privileged. You're so privileged. Get out there. Between now and the end of the season, you're in a very privileged position to play for Ipswich Town. This was the one thing, Matt, that it worried me at the start of the season when we were doing these previews. And I said, with your money comes expectation, carrying that crest on their shoulders, They've had, look at the players we've had before us. You said Paul Mariner, 81, 92, 2000. We ain't done nothing for 20 years. You've got to be able to handle that pressure. If we can't handle it now, what's it going to be like when we're in the playoffs? You know, in them games where they're intense. We've been to playoff games. Look, Bolton, Charlton, you know, over the years, Sheffield United. Them games are like something different.
Furnace.
You've got to be able to handle that. Other than Sam Morsey, what leaders have we got in this team?
Yeah, one of the reasons why they bought Keogh in, but then he comes in for 2-3 games and disappears without explanation.
I don't agree with Callie about the 12th man. I went to Sheffield Wednesday away. They were silent. They started throwing stuff at the linesman. Is that how you want to be the 12th man? Intimidating. They weren't noisy that day. Noisy that day, Sheffield Wednesday. They weren't.
They didn't
Stop
the
blaming what the fans can do, Callie. They should be the 12th man.
Yeah,
maybe the fucking players stepped up. Stop bloody. Just get on and do your job. You know? Do you think? So obviously the pressure got to Morsey, didn't it, on Tuesday? So you and Colin sort of chatted about this. My take on it was like, I don't really want to see an Ipswich captain doing that. But if you got some sort of numpty shouting, swearing, whatever at, why not? Why not go and have a go back? Do you know what I mean? You can't just say what you want to be, but you wouldn't say that to someone in the street, would you? Whatever they say. Like I said on Wednesday night, 2000, we're going for promotion. We lost at home to Norwich 2-0. Do you remember that game, Matt?
Yeah.
Matt Holland come to the North Stand after that game. Got absolute dog's abuse, hand gestures, the lot. Did he say anything? No, he applauded and he walked off. Now, everyone's a different character.
Yeah.
I'll get that. Morsey's apologised, which I think was really good.
Yep.
Put it to bed. It's done now. But we need this now. I think they should close ranks a little bit. Siege mentality, the players.
But has any club ever got promoted and looked back and gone, do you remember we went through that spell where we only won 4 in 15 and the skipper confronted the away fans? It just seems to be stacking up in the wrong direction for me. I don't think any promoted teams look back on these things and think, oh, yeah, we actually got promoted that season. It's just going, that's my look, I really wanted Kieran to succeed. You know, I like the idea of a young manager coming in. Hindsight, too young, most likely. Probably because Ashton wanted someone he could probably control a bit. I would imagine going on the feedback he got from Oxford.
See, I do agree with Ian's comment there about expectations have increased.
So they would do with the money spend, right?
An element of bigger crowds are Johnny-come-latelys. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that.
No. Where were these people we played Oldham in the FA Cup? 8,000 now.
You liked it.
I enjoyed that. Now I have to queue up for the toilets and to get a drink. Annoying. But yeah, absolutely. But it's do you feel I'm being harsh on Kieran here or something? Given that the average manager
everyone's got a different view, Matt. You know, this is why we all love football. If we all agreed, it'd be boring.
This is not a slight.
I don't personally think we should be getting rid of a young manager. I think it's trust the process. I know people don't like that.
I don't trust the process. I can't keep the faith, and I don't want to run towards adversity.
I don't agree with run to adversity. I think that was a stupid slogan. Chatted about that on the Discord the other day. That's not the reason why we've only won 4 in 15. I
don't like any of this stuff. Don't like any of it. But I think you're starting to see. What did people at Bristol City say when the shit hit the fans? Ashton goes missing. And I read a piece when he was Oxford manager, and he had Michael Appleton as his manager, out of work at the moment, by the way, everybody, just floating that out there. And they won the title, I do believe. And Oxford's fans kind of described him as someone who was a benevolent dictator, which you see in these fan forums. I believe there's another one on Monday. We're doing this for you. We're putting the screen in. You're going to get a Deso pitch. He's doing all the things. It almost sounds like he's on the tools out the back of the Churchman's knocking down Beaver Staples. He's doing all these things for you, coupled with this kind of like vicious PR that he likes to do. It was noticed at other clubs. It was noticed at Oxford. It was noticed at Bristol City. Now you're seeing it here. But he has gone to ground, right? He has gone to ground.
He's still at the games. But
he's a bit snide of the.
What I would like.
He's snide of the timings, right? Because he does the Cambridge United thing, where you did the beanbag. Cambridge United, second from bottom. We're going to book in a fans forum again, right after Forest Green, bottom of the table. They're such safe hits.
Is there a fans forum? Is it?
I was told there was going to be one Monday,
No,
but
I've not seen anything. There's nothing advertised. I was going to touch on that. When is the next?
Was adamant, wasn't it? Matt Martin was adamant there was one.
No, I've not seen anything advertised. But when is the next fans forum? That would be that'd be very interesting when that's actually coming, because it is all well and good. It is all well and good. People want to be interviewed, and they want to be heard when things are going well. But it's no good hiding and going underground.
People stand up and when it's not going so well. Well, at least with Sheepshanks, he used to be in the Evening Star, or whatever, East Anglia Daily Times Weekly, didn't they? Talking about things. He didn't shirk it. Yeah, I mean, it's not 4 out of 5.
Oh no, Ashley says it's a supporters event for the Blues Foundation. It's not. I don't think it's actually.
Right. Okay. So is there going to be another fans forum then? You'd
like to think between now and the end of the season there would.
But he got a standing ovation last time.
Maybe after these next 4 games, he's thinking, we've got 4 games there we might win, and then I might throw a fans forum in at the end.
What I do like about Ashton, he has given you club back to being in League One again. All that crap they're coming up next season, and he'll get 3 more shirts, and they'll ask you to pack out PR.
Well,
I'll do what they did. Do you know what? In the 1990 World Cup, right, the season that followed in Italy, Lazio were like their ultras were like pissed off with the team. So for every single game that followed that season at home, the first half, none of the ultras, the Curva North, I think is where they stand, they wouldn't go into the stadium until the second half. That happened all season because they were that pissed off. I would love to see Ipswich do that.
It never happens in England.
No, it never happens because we're happy clappers. We don't do that.
76 likes, Owen Griffiths. So we got 214 watching.
Wow.
Lee says, hit the like button. Anyway, let's
probably disagreeing with me.
Let's get to your what are you picking tomorrow, Matt? What's your starting 11? Well, I know you're probably going to go a bit out of the box.
Yeah, well, because I've lost faith in everybody. So I've got Had King goal because I don't trust the old 2-touch Walton. Don't trust him. If it's gonna cost us a goal, the old 2-touch will be tomorrow against the team that's bottom of the table, 100%. So right back, I'm going to bring Clark in because we paid $1 million for him, and I quite like his attacking endeavour. I actually feel like he'd probably be a good win back rather than actual right back. Looks like he wants to shoot a lot. He did start as a striker, didn't he? At least he's willing to try and have a shot. You know what I mean? And in Wolfenden because he's from our academy. Greg Lee because I like him. Davis because we've got no threat from the set piece corner.
Where were you playing Greg Lee?
Centre half, left side. So I've got 4 at the back there. So Clark, Wolf, Lee, Davis right across. And then me 3 midfield, Burns. He didn't play great, did he, Tuesday? But at least he brings some energy, he brings some pace. He's aiming to get the ball into the box, you know what I mean? Morsey, I'm still going to play. I'd like to give Luongo a chance, really, but Morsey's our captain. And, I've said all season he's our glue, really. So I'm going to stick with him. He's as slow as a snail, but I'm going to stick with him. And then Cameron Humphreys, brilliant.
Emerson says Greg Lee is injured.
Well, he'll play through it. That's the kind of guy he is.
Actually, Massimo is back on the grass. He's trained for the last 2 days.
Last week, we didn't saw him.
Yeah, he's back on the grass. They got a mannequin.
What's Martin calling him? Missimo. Yeah, so Humphreys. Oh, look, Humphreys is the future. You got to support that kid. Don't feel like you need to support everybody else. Support him because I feel like he could be a captain if he's with us long enough. And then obviously my 3 up top, Chaplin, the Wasp, causes problems. Everyone was waxing lyrical about Hurst against Sheffield Wednesday. He probably keeps his place. And then Broadhead. I mean, when he come on against Bristol Rovers, he brings energy. Looks like he's interested in being there. Looks like he's trying to win the game. Newsflash. Why is that? Why should that be such an anomaly when he comes on from the subs bench? I was thinking, look at the energy this kid brings. We need more of that, really. So that'd be. But look, this should be a piece of piston, right? We'll make heavy weather of it. Probably go goal down. Maybe end up 1-1, 2-1, whatever. But it's a lose-lose situation, isn't it, for McKenna? Because you lose the game.
That Humphreys needs a break. He's only played the last 2 games.
Oh, come on, he's a professional footballer. Come on, don't need to play. He's a young lad. He wants to play. He probably doesn't need a break compared to some of the others. But if McKenna loses tomorrow, he's up shit straight. And if he wins tomorrow, it's you beat Forest Green. But at least it's a game that's come along in which we might be able to try a few different things potentially. But We could have been 3-0 down by half time last week. Who knows what's coming to the table tomorrow?
That is very true.
What's the crowd for tomorrow anyway?
20. They sold over 24.
Have they? I'm on the train again tomorrow.
I'm not sure how many Forest Green will be bringing because it is all ticket. It's all ticket. There's no tickets on the day for them. So,
oh well, it's a bit
have you got a jukebox song, Matt?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
No poll tonight. Both of our songs are going straight in. So I normally win. So you can go in as well, Matt, tonight.
I'm good. Well, because I'm a bit depressed on that, I've gone. Well, I could have put the 1 foot in the grave theme tune in, couldn't I? I'm going for Every Day is Like Sunday by Morrissey. One of the most depressing songs. Every day is silent and grey. Just sums our season up, doesn't it? I'd wave the flag right now. If I had a white flag right now, I'd be waving it.
No, come on, we've got to be positive tomorrow. I want you positive. Pre-match. At least pre-match.
When did we play Plymouth? I was like invested, wasn't I?
January.
I was so excited for that game. I was so excited for that game. I was counting down. I was texting Martin and Rich, 5 days to go, 4 days to go. I really felt like if we won that game, that was it. That was the upturn. And of course, we conceded, what was it, 94th minute goal. And then you just start thinking of all the shit that's happened, all the last minute goals, the 4-4 at Charlton. We've never recovered from the 4-4 at Charlton. And that speaks volumes to me. That's bleeding up.
It says a white flag to match your top, Matt. Very French.
HMS Pistol League on the bottom of the Atlantic with the Titanic right now. That's where we're at.
Anyway.
Scrambling for lifeboats.
Anyway, I've got a request.
What's your song anyway?
I've got a request. This is from someone I talked to on Twitter called Jen Bacon, and she has requested Matt Stannard. Where did he go yesterday?
Where did he go yesterday?
Did you not see? He went to watch Back to the Future, the musical.
Nice.
So, off the back of that, Huey Lewis and the News,
The
Power of Love.
Nice.
Because we all love Town. Come on, Matt. You love Town. I know you're negative at the minute.
Yeah, well, I love the history of Town. I don't like the present day at the moment. It's pissing me off. And I'm going against my will tomorrow, but I'm going to be there. I want to see Big Dunk in the dugout. I'm going to be there.
Yeah, Huey Lewis and the News, Power of Love. Great song. I played it earlier. I was playing some 80s music before the
Power Rock ballads.
80s has got to be the best decade for music, surely.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I used to like Prefab Sprout. King of Rock and Roll. That's a great tune. After that, Springsteen was very.
I'm not sure where Matt went to watch. Where did you go, Matt, to watch Back to the Future? I see your picture on Twitter.
Right? London.
I would have thought so. I'd have thought it'd be in London.
Yeah. Big fan. What's your song then? What you got? Something depressing?
No, that's what I've just picked. Huey Lewis and the News.
Oh, that was it. All right, okay. You included Jen. Right, I'm with you.
Get it in there. Get it
in there. Why not?
So, what else have we got to chat about? We've done 47 minutes. Come on, Matt. Give us something positive to look forward to.
Other than Colin's book launch, I don't know.
If you have only just joined, Colin's book launch is on Thursday the 30th of March, 7 p.m. Yeah. Bobby Robson Suite at Portman Road. Ticket details to follow.
Yeah, that is something to look forward to. That will be a very good evening. Do come along. Go have a drink with us. That'd be really good fun. I've never been in the Bobby Robson Suite, I don't think. Is that what they used to call the Galleria, or is that because something different?
I'm not sure. There's Beatties up there. There's several bars now.
Because we're kind of hardened fans. We don't go hospitality, do we? We don't do all that kind of stuff. Listen, we've got, how many games is it? After tomorrow then. So tomorrow's 15, right?
Yeah, 15 games to go.
So points-wise, we're on 50, what is it?
I don't even know. I've not even looked at the minute. I think we're on, 56, 57?
Yeah, hang on. Let me have a quick look, everybody. What are we on? We are on in fourth, 57 points, everybody.
Come on.
So we're 2 points behind Bolton with a game in hand. We've played one more game than Sheffield Wednesday on 65. So Sheffield Wednesday in second are already 8 points ahead of us. And in Plymouth on 31 games are on 67. So we're 10 points behind them. So if you think Sheffield Wednesday are going to win their game in hand, we're going to be 10 points behind second place.
Cheltenham, their game in hand, Matt.
Well, Cheltenham won at Cambridge, by the way, in the week where we struggled on 2-1. Speaks volumes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then you've got in fifth place, we've got Derby on 54, a game in hand, almost the same goal difference as us. Barnsley, 2 games in hand on us on 50.
This is looking very much like the year 2000, isn't it? Bolton, Barnsley.
Yeah. That's when, what was it, Man City went up as champions. Am I right in thinking that was 82nd Man City that year? Was it Bradford who went up as champions?
No, Bradford, I think, was the year before.
Man City went up before, above us, didn't they?
Yeah,
they won at Blackburn.
They won 4-1 at Blackburn, didn't they, on that last day?
Yeah.
And we beat Walsall 2-0, didn't they? David Johnson scored.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Charlton won the league that year, didn't they?
Who did?
Charlton Athletic.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because we went there, didn't we? We won 3-1.
3-1. That's right.
Saturday before.
The game after we'd been at West Brom when Gilton and Johnson had a bit of a slapping match. Do you remember that?
On the telly.
On the 1-1. Yeah.
Falling out. They were neighbours.
Yeah. What do we need? So, right, 15 games to go, right? So, even if we do 2 points per game, which is way ahead of what we're at the moment, we're on about 1.4 at the moment, that still only take us to 87.
Yeah, they'll see you in the playoffs. 87 to see you in the playoffs.
Yeah, but I would say maybe around about 5th or 6th, though.
Well, it all depends, doesn't it? You know, you look at Bolton have got a game in hand. So, obviously, I think that's Accrington in the game in hand, isn't it? So, you'd think
they've won 5-0 in the last 2 games, have they not?
Yeah.
Bolton?
See, their goal difference, they've made 10 goals up in 2 games there, haven't they, really?
What's our biggest win this season? 4-0 against Morecambe?
Yeah, I think so.
Not really put anyone to the sword, have we? It's going to be, it's touch and go. Look, 3 points tomorrow. It's got to be 3 points tomorrow, but it's going to be, we still have to go to Barnsley. We still have to go to Derby. We still have to go to Bolton. Still a lot of football to be played. I pray to God we can get in that top 6. But whether McKenna's the one who's going to deliver promotion for you all, I don't know. I personally don't think he will.
Yeah, you look at, obviously, Forest Green bottom. 22 points, 5 wins, 7 draws, 20 defeats, Matt, they've had.
Yeah. They lost 1-0 to Charlton, didn't they, last weekend? Or was it in the week?
He said they're playing well, Ferguson. They've obviously, Charlie Savage plays for them on loan from Man U. You might see Robbie next. I think he comes to all the games.
You might be the director. Might be assistant manager. Yeah, I don't know. 3 points tomorrow, and then what's the game after that?
It's MK next Saturday. Nearly 7,000 going down there. I
really thought this was the run of games they put together for the 5. We were talking about we only won and put 5 games together. We put 3 games together since October. I don't know, heavy weather, innit? It's heavy weather. It's really, I feel for everybody. Really.
But we have just got to hang in there, and the season hasn't. And if you do listen to a lot of people, I'm not saying you, Matt, but they're saying the season's over already, and you think well, it's not. We still got 15 big games to go, but we somehow have to find that momentum to take into the playoffs.
Where'd you find it from? Does beating Forest Green do that for you? I don't think it does.
Yeah, you just have to win. You just have to win the games.
Does them go into MK Dons do it? Well, if you then got 2 wins on the trot, maybe.
Wow.
To get real momentum, I think you'll go to Barnsley.
Breaking news. Big news from the cricket show. Newmarket Cricket Club ousted from the Severals. Ooh.
This is your
Where are they going?
See, they're not hanging around. They're ousting things.
They're out. But look, it is all about gaining momentum, and if that means winning,
where'd you get it from? That's what I'm saying. Does Forest Green give you that momentum?
It starts tomorrow. It has to start tomorrow. Are they going to play at Dullingham? Wow.
I think going to like Barnsley or Derby or going to Bolton to get 3 points at one of them grounds, both all in the top 6. That then gives you the momentum. I don't see how beating Forest Green tomorrow gives you momentum. They're going to be a League 2 club next season. We certainly didn't get any momentum after beating Morecambe, did we?
No, that's true.
We drew with Cambridge. I don't know. Again, it comes down to the tactics, doesn't it? He does the same thing against everybody. He's just different personnel. The only time I can really remember him changing it up was when we went to Sheffield Wednesday back in, was it September? And he played more of a long ball game, which really suited. And we scored within, 2 minutes to Jackson? Everyone's saying Jackson ain't a finisher. What finish that was that day? You know. I don't know. We haven't got the answers. We're just fans. You just pay a £1 note and go home and away. But if it was up to me, I'd be making a change now because I still think this club, under different management, under different tactics, under a different way of thinking, can still go up by Wembley. That's what I'm thinking.
We be making a call to Devon? Should we have been getting in there for Neil Warnock?
Got Huddersfield, isn't he? Well, he's got history there, hasn't he? So
yeah, he's there in the 90s.
The last time Warnock was at Huddersfield, Buffon
was playing in goal for Parma.
Yeah, And now he's back out of the field and Buffon's still in goal for Parma at like bloody 45 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Warnock. I always think he was a manager who would have done well at Ipswich. And we had a bit of a love-hate relationship with him and Sheffield United, didn't we? But he's just the kind of person you want at the moment. You know, someone with the experience who can get you over the line. It's all about getting over the line in it. Can we get over the line in the playoffs? Because that's where we're heading for. But I don't think we're going to see it. But who knows? When Ashton appointed Dean Holden after sacking Lee Johnson, it took him 6 weeks to get Dean Holden in. And I think they sacked him after 6 months. Within a week, he had Nigel Pearson in. So who knows? Who knows? Who knows what might happen? A week is a long time in football. Bloody hell, 24 hours could be a long time in football if we don't win tomorrow. So wait and see what happens.
Yeah, look, it's let's see where we are at 10 to 5 tomorrow. If we lose tomorrow, I think it's well.
Yeah,
there'll be a lot more questions asked, won't there? Really, you think if we don't beat?
Yeah, oh God's sake, yeah, absolutely.
5 in 32, Matt. You know, I think something's
For McKenna's sake, I hope he does win tomorrow, and for the club's sake, I hope we win because we've got to keep in that top six. You know, I'm only this negative because I want us to do so well, and I think we're on the wrong path right now. You know, I think we're blowing the best chance we've ever had, and I keep saying it. The Arizona owner's done brilliant. Love it. I just don't think we've got the right manager right now. I think he's too young. Not got enough experience.
So, just
right manager, wrong time, mate.
A little bit of news before we finish. Ben Morris has left the club, Matt.
He's gone to Detroit City, isn't he?
16-year association with the Blues. He's joined USL Championship side Detroit City on a free transfer.
He's only 23. Been in town 16 years.
Yeah, look, he's had some obviously bad injuries. He's got 2 times he's had ACLs. He was at Portman Road. He's been to Woking. He was at Forest Green. I remember he going against Blackburn that day.
Yes. 2-2. Hurst first game.
Yeah, under Hurst, and he looked fairly decent that day.
Yeah, he's getting stuck in, wasn't he? Yeah, fair play to him.
He never really looked. He's 16 years. You think, blimey, he's been there since he was 7.
He's still going to have quite a good career, I think. A young lad, 23, going over to Detroit, playing in the States, going to live in the States. Pretty cool to me. Sounds all right. Good luck to him.
Just hope that he can stay clear of injuries.
Yeah. It's the roll of the dice of some of these academy kids, and some come through like Flynn, like Cameron. Some, like you say, get terrible injuries like Ben Morris. It's going to go and start again. But I would go and start a new life in the States as a 23-year-old. Brilliant. Go and enjoy it. Go and enjoy yourself. Might be playing against Phoenix.
Possibly.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Brett Johnson has bought the book, Matt. Did you know that?
Has he?
Yeah, he's bought Cotton's book.
He's got another club launching, hasn't he? Rhode Island.
Yeah, Rhode Island.
I've just realised we were supposed to give Martin a 5-minute warning.
Oh dear.
And we haven't done so.
Are you texting him?
Yeah. Let's see what he's going to say.
Martin will be at the game tomorrow. Don't worry, folks. He's all right. He's just out tonight.
We had terrible tech issues last week at the statue. That's because you weren't there. We couldn't get anything to work. For the game. It was indicative of how the game turned out. Don't think our defence was working, was it? 2-0, miss a pen.
There's a lot of people there. Does the Wi-Fi not work when there's so many people?
I don't know. I don't get it. But you think it's going to be about 24,000 there tomorrow, don't you?
Yeah, I said 24. Might scrape up to 25. Maybe I think the weather's supposed to be nice, getting a little bit warmer now.
You would have done home and away with Forest Green. So just remind us what Forest Green Stadium was like. It was bloody hot that day, wasn't it?
That's where Colin left the flag. Do you remember?
The goddamn flag, yeah.
The flag was left there.
Who was the guy who found it for him? Steve.
Phil Essex found the flag.
Phil Essex, that's it. Yeah.
He found the flag. Look, it's a typical I don't want to be disrespectful, but Forest Green was probably the ground would be more sort of accustomed to probably League 2, National League.
Well, it's a non-league ground, isn't it? Let's face it. But again, this is where we're meeting in the middle, isn't it? Ipswich Town's failure for like 20 years, the treading water of doing nothing since the Burley era. And clubs being invested in, like the vegan guys done at Forest Green and taken them through. Now we meet. But, you know, League One was all right to start with, right? You know, we deserve to be relegated. I mean, I sometimes think, did Evans actually appoint Paul Hurst because he thought we'd be relegated after Mick McCarthy, or did he think we were just going to stay as we were?
Before we finish, let me find this. I've got some great... It's on Twitter. It's called The Upshot.
Oh yeah, Duncan.
Have you read the Duncan Ferguson?
Yeah, you sent it to me. Yeah.
Back in the 90s, Duncan Ferguson was the most terrifying hard man, and it just goes through. He joined Dundee United, 1990, 6'4" striker, particularly good with his head, Matt. Perhaps too good.
Indeed.
After a night of heavy boozing, he gets into a spat with a policeman at a Dundee taxi rank. Dunk settles this dispute by headbutting the copper. 93, he's back at the taxi rank when a postman who supports hated rival St Johnstone starts goading him. The bloke is already on crutches with a broken leg. That doesn't stop Dunk punching and kicking him. Dunk defends the damage as fat lips. No big deal. The best one was when there's the two. No, the one when 2001. But not everyone's aware of the violent streak when the 6'4" striker catches two burglars trying to steal his CD collection. He beats one up until he stopped moving. He ends up giving him CPR, and the bloke spends 3 days in hospital, followed by a year in jail.
Oh my God! What, you must have had a death wish to go to Duncan Ferguson.
2003. It happens again 2 years later when petty criminal Carl Bishop tries to nab some booze from Ferguson's outhouse. Duncan breaks his jaw, knocks out 3 teeth, and Carl gets a 5 stretch in the slammer.
And no dentist.
There you go. And now he's at Forest Green eating vegan burgers.
There you go. Hilarious. What a character.
And on that note, I think Martin. Is he in the chat? I think he's
Martin is here, everybody. He is here. So we're going to bid you farewell. Sorry if I'm a bit grumpy.
Can you wave goodbye?
I'm disappointed.
Right, quickly before we go, predictions for tomorrow, Matthew.
I think we will win tomorrow. I hope we win for the sake of everyone who's going and the sake of the club. I think we'll probably win. I'm going to go 2-0 tomorrow, or maybe a 2-1. We might make heavy weather of it, but we'll be there. I hope so. Anyway, I don't want to be.
I'll go 2-0 tomorrow. It's look, I know people are like probably 3 or 4 goals, and I think it's all about getting a victory tomorrow, really.
Yeah,
you know,
I certainly don't think. I don't think it sets us on this road to momentum you're talking about, but you know, at least it keeps us in the top 6, right? So 3 points, nothing less. Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway,
right.
We'll see everybody tuned in tonight.
We'll see you then.
We've managed just over an hour.
Very
Trevor
good.
Amos. We'll finish on Trevor Amos's prediction: 12-0 to Town. We will see you all tomorrow.